Skinny Hardaway 7T, back with another EP. Y'all do your boy solid. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, I greatly appreciate you sliding through. And again, first things first, whether you catch this live or you catch the playback, the timestamps will be in the comment, right? The first comment is going to be the pick rundown and prediction, right? So if you want to skip the boring part, you want to skip the long part of the actual show, right? Go to the comments. The first comment is going to be the pinned tweet at the end of every show, right? I put it up and it's going to take you right to the predicts and the parlays, right? So you can get through the boring part. So a lot of y'all might not even see, you know what I mean, that what's about to happen from here, you know, up until the rundown, right? But I always do have, you know, the timestamps in the chat. In the comments, you check the comments, you'll see the timestamp. It'll take you exactly to what you need to see. They said, my guy LJ said, what's good, T? Burn one with your fam. Shout out my guy LJ. Y'all know what's going on, man. Monday morning fight predictions. You know what I mean? The wake and bake. Appreciate you starting through. We gonna be here. I'm not gonna waste too much of y'all time, you know what I mean, this morning, but I am gonna waste a little bit of y'all time, you know what I mean, this morning. But shout out my girl Jess Jazz. What's good, Jazz? My guy Pop. What's good, Pop? Appreciate you starting through this thing, man. Smoke session. Roll one up. My guy Gerald Fitz. What's good, Gerald? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Gerald Fitz. Like Fitzgerald. Yeah. Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Gerald Fitz. L Jack, what's good, fam? Yep. Roll one up. Y'all, everybody roll one. Everybody, and if you hear the sound of my voice, y'all roll one. We about to do these UFC fight breakdown and predictions. Right? Y'all know I'm gonna give y'all that money line parlay as well, right? With only my safest of the safest, right? Gasu blew my last one, right? Gasu in that main event blew the last parlay, right? So we go give y'all another one on this one, and we gonna hope that thing hold up. That man went there, he laid an egg. A lot of these prospects, man, not to call them hype dogs, right? But a lot of these prospects, man, are getting exposed for being just that, right? Prospects and not being ready. Getting exposed for just that, right? Being prospects and not being ready. Like Joe Pfeiffer, Giso, right? And then on this card, this week we got a little bit of the same, right? We got a lot of prospects. I see what Dana White doing this year, and I like it. I actually love it. Shout out my guy DS too. Appreciate it. I see what Dana White doing this year, right? He putting a lot of those contender guys with, you know, the UFC veterans, right? And he trying to see, you know, just how good they are, what they go do. And I like that, right? When you have the prospects versus the UFC veterans, especially the hot prospects, right? You get to see exactly how good they are. And a few of them have bit the dust. You had Al Swadi who bit the dust last week. Gosov who bit the dust. You had my boy from Philly, Joe Pfeiffer, who I thought was a killer, still is a killer, right? But killer, you know what I mean? He ended up biting the dust earlier this year, right? So it's been a pretty good year for UFC. The last week in the UFC might have been its slowest week, and those fights actually turned out pretty good. You know what I mean? So pretty good week on the whole with UFC. I told y'all Gusov laid the egg last week. Rosenstrick, you know, is here again, right? The reemergence of Rosenstrick. So Rosenstrick can put himself back, you know what I mean, in the mix with that win. But last week, I think I went 8-4. My prediction 8-4 or 9-3, something like that. 12 fights, right? It was 8-4 or 9-3. Some of that, I have to go back and fact check it to make sure, right? But I know for sure that it's one of those. This week, we gonna do even better, right? We lost that again. We missed the main event last week, right? Bummer, right? But this week we gonna make it better. Again, I'm gonna give y'all every single fight pick on this video. Then we gonna make the parlay. And then we go, you know, make it do what it do. But the first one I'm finna do right is I'm finna go grab me a water bottle. I'm finna grab me a cup of ice. Yes, I'm gonna pour me a little drink. We gonna sip. We gonna make these predictions because it's about 13 fights on her, right? So, you know, we got a little time. Again, I'm gonna put the timestamps at the end. So y'all rock with your boy. Hold on. All right, let's get it, y'all, back with you, boy. Y'all hit that thumbs. I see I got 9 people in the bed. Can I get all 9 of y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy? Yeah, all right, move. Move. Can I get all 9 of y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy, man? We about to make it do. Y'all know I have a fluid show. This is a fluid show, so I appreciate everybody shining through. Shout out to my guy DS. We about to go and make it do what it do, right? So the first fight, right? The first fight we got on the docket. I'm gonna do this from FanDuel, right? So we're gonna go to FanDuel, and I'm gonna save it from the FanDuel. We're gonna start with the prelim, and we're gonna work our way over to the main event again. UFC 299. This is a pay-per-view card. Sean O'Malley and Marlon Vera. This is a rematch. Sean O'Malley actually got stopped in this first fight, right? If you watch the fight, you know that Sean O'Malley did get stopped, but it was like a freak injury, right? He twisted his ankle, and then Marlon Vera went in for the kill and got the doctor stopping. So this is a bit of redemption for Sean O'Malley. So it should be an interesting fight. You know what I mean? Interesting fight, interesting turn of events. You know. Interesting fight, you know what I mean? The rematch, interesting turns of event happened. Move. Interesting turns of event happened the first time. So O'Malley looking for a little get back. You know what I mean? It's the trains O'Malley. That's your boy. O'Malley earned my respect, man. I ain't gonna necessarily call him my boy, right? But O'Malley most definitely did earn my respect with that Aljamain Sterling win. I was hard on O'Malley, you know what I mean? Up until then, Marlon Vera is also a legit test, right? O'Malley, one of those dudes. He got a couple shots, right, and he failed. But his last shot with Aljamain, he got it going, right? You know what I mean? He got that one, and once he got that one, you can't deny Sean O'Malley no more, man, right? You know what I mean? I could talk about this and that, but after you beat Aljamain Sterling, you know, what am I going to say to you? What am I going to say to you at that point? Right? You know what I mean? So good shit by Sean O'Malley. He got a rematch coming up with Marlon Vera in this one where he gonna have to be on point. You know what I mean? He's going to have to be on point, or he's most definitely gonna get dealt with again, right? He most definitely have to be on point, right? Or he go get dealt with again. Interesting fight. I know Sean O'Malley got a pretty big fan base, right? A lot of support. So O'Malley gonna have to come through. So he's just not that paper champion, right? You get the belt, you get the belt, then you lose it the next fight, like Sean Strickland. Not saying Sean Strickland is a paper champ, right? But you never want to get the belt, right, and then lose it in the next fight, because that's gonna cause for people, to question your ability. It's gonna cause people to question your realness. You know what I mean? As a champ, like you got let me get my hold on. All right, man, let's get it. All right, man, y'all get it. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy. Y'all hit that thumbs up for you. Get your ass up that couch. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy, man. Let's get it. So the first fight on the docket, right? 11 minutes. First fight on the docket. The first fight on the docket, we got Jonah Wood versus Mariana Moroz. In the first fight, I got Moroz. Moroz should be able to win that fight, right? Pretty confident in that one, right? Pretty comfortable with that pick. This is a rematch as well. Moroz won the first fight back when she was younger. Jonah Wood is about 7-8 years older than her, right? She beat her before. She beat her before. I don't see what she beat her before. I don't see why she wouldn't beat her again, right? I think she's the better mixed martial artist, right? I think she's better all around. You know what I mean? The feet, the ground, right? Think Morose is just better. She's younger, more explosive, more athletic, right? And I think the UFC will more likely want to see her win, right? The younger prospect coming up, something maybe they could build around, or more so than Joan Wood, who may be on her, way out of combat sports, right? Given her age, but we're gonna go with Morose over Wood in that first one, and I am gonna drop this in the chat so y'all can follow, as we go along, right? We're gonna take Morose money line. Pretty confident in that over Jonah Wood, right? Don't see Jonah Wood being able to beat her, rather it's defeat, rather it's on the ground, right? Both fighters are, I think, 3-2 their last 5 fights, right? So both fighters looking for a win. Morose is coming off a loss. Wood is coming off a loss, right? If I'm not mistaken, so they both are They both are looking for the win. Morose beat her once before. I'm expecting Morose to be able to beat her again, right? We got Morose money line in that first fight over Joan Wood, right? Moving right along, we got CJ Vergara versus Asu Alambiel, right? I'm going with Alambiel in that fight. I do think CJ Varaga is, a tough kind of guy, but I think MBL is a lot more skilled. You know what I mean? Than Varaga. Pretty confident in this win as well, right? Had confidence in Mirage win, had confidence in MBL win, right? I like CJ Vergara. I like his toughness, right? But I think he's going to be out-skilled in this fight versus MBL, right? And I got MBL money line over CJ Vergara, right? We'll try to get through this swiftly, right? I got MBL over Vergara, right? Pretty confident in that as well. We got Josh Parisian versus Robellas Despargin. I know I messed his name. Robellas versus Josh Parisian, right? I'm taking Robellas in this fight again. It's a prospect versus a UFC veteran, right? Is the UFC veteran, going to revise his career, or is the prospect going to see out, his height and get out, or is the prospect going to see out his height and his ability, you know what I mean, and be able to, get into the UFC, be able to crack it into the UFC with a bang, right? So in that fight, we taking Robellas. His name is Despain, right? I'm probably saying it wrong, but I think it's Despain, right? So we got Despain over Parisian, the young prospect Despain. He's probably going to, not Parisian out, right? This guy's about 6'7", menacing looking dude, right? Longest reach in the UFC, right? In the heavyweight division. Longest reach in the heavyweight division, right? Usually means longest reach in the UFC, right? Young prospect, Despain for the win. Josh Parisian is probably going to bed, right? Yo, for my waking bakers, y'all fight them blunts up because it's time. For my waking bakers, y'all fight them blunts up because it's time. Okay, so now that we got that out the way, right? Again, I dropped it. Again, if you see that money line in the chat, that means you could put it in your parlay, and at the end, we're going to actually do a parlay, right? So you will know. But if you see that money line on it, right, you see that ML at the end, that means that's one of my confident picks, and you could put it, you know what I mean, in your parlay. Moving on to the next fight, right? We got Michael Olejuk versus Michael Pereira. In this fight, I'm taking Michael Pereira. Michael Olejuk is a game fighter. This fight right here is a toss-up, right? I feel like this is a 50-50 fight. I'm leaning with Pereira because Pereira should be able to win this fight, right? Should be able to win it if they're striking. Should be able to win it. Most definitely should be able to win it if they go to the ground, right? Again, 50-50 kind of fight, toss-up. I'm thinking Pereira is I'm thinking Pierre is just more. I'm thinking overall, he's just the better all-around fighter than Olichek. I could be wrong. Again, a lot of these prospects have been biting the dust. You know what I mean? But we're going to go with Micah Piera in there as well. I'm not going to put this one in my parlay, right? So you're not going to see the money line at the end. I think it's a bit of a risk, right? It's a bit of a risk given how good Olichek is. You know what I mean, right? Some people feel like, Pereira is a lock, right? And then they love the odds being that close, right? But I think that fight is a little closer than it is on paper, right? But I am going to go with Pierre in that fight over Olichek. But it is going to be a good fight, like a close fight, I'm thinking, right? So we got Pierre in that fight over Olichek. Moving right along, we got Pedro Monzon versus Kyler Phillips. And again, this is a good fight, right? I used to be pretty high on, Pedro Monzon until he fought Sean O'Malley, right? And Sean O'Malley was touching them up. And I think like an eye poke or something happened. And I'm almost certain that Pedro Monzon wasn't hurt, but he knew that he was about to lose that fight to Sean O'Malley. And he took the way out that fight. And I think it ended up being called a no contest or something like that. Ever since then, I've been off Trano Munoz, right? I've been off Pedro Munoz. And in this fight, I'm thinking Kyler Phillips. While Kyler Phillips doesn't have a whole lot of power, doesn't have the most power. Shay Vera was good, Shay. Appreciate you sliding through. While Kyler Phillips doesn't have a whole lot of power, doesn't have the most power, right? He is a very technical guy. I'm expecting him to be able to touch up. I'm expecting him to be able to touch up Monzon from the outside. Monzon got real short limbs, right? You know what I mean? I'm expecting Kyler Phillips to be able to touch him up from the outside. Don't think he's going to stop him. Don't think anybody's going to get stopped in this fight, right? I do think this stop goes the distance. And I got Kyler Phillips being able to outstrike and outdance and touch Pedro Monzon on the feet and elbow. So I got Kyler Phillips for the win as well. I got Kyler Phillips for the win as well. And you can or you can't put this in your parlay, right? I'm not necessarily going to put it in mine, right? Because Pedro Monzon is a game fighter. It was at a point in time, right? The UFC thought Pedro Monzon would be a champion, right? He was being built as a champion. A little older now, right? So I'm going with the younger Kyler Phillips. I'm expecting him to be able to get, the older guy out of the mix, right? I'm expecting him to be able to get him out of the mix. So I got Kyler Phillips for the win over Monzon, right? You don't necessarily got to put in your parlay, right? Because it is a close fight. We gonna leave it out for parlay purposes right now, right? Moving right along, we got Mitsu Gamrot versus RDA, Rafael Anjos. He's been fighting for a long time, right? Has Rafael Dos Anjos. I'm picking him to lose this fight, right? I think Gamrot is primed to be maybe a UFC champion one day, or at least compete for titles. I just think at this point in RDA's career, he doesn't have a whole lot left to be able to beat a lot of these, top prospects, a lot of these elite guys. Getting up there in age, very well could get stopped in this fight, right? I won't necessarily go out there and tell you to bet on RDA getting stopped, but I am telling you to bet Gamrot in this spot because I'm thinking Gamrot is going to come to fight, and I'm thinking Gamrot is going to deliver over the great RDA, right? I got Gamrot in that fight. Not happy about it. I like Anjos, but I do think Anjos is a bit past his prime. Doesn't mean he can't still fight in the UFC, but a guy like Gamrot, I don't see him being able to beat right now at this point in his career. We got Gamrot in that fight, and we got Gamrot on the money line, meaning that will make the parlay. So you should have 4 fights so far in your parlay, right? Moving right along, we got Chalin Chookagian versus Macy Barber. Macy Barber is one of those women who give you a heart attack every time she fights. She wins a lot of split decisions, right? Winning a lot of split decisions is a good thing, but it also means that you could have lost that fight, right? So I actually have put Macy Barber in plenty of parlays and hit, right? But I'm hitting with a split decision, right? So it's on edge with her. You always worry with the Macy Barber fights, like she's young, so her fights are going to be highly competitive. Even sometimes when she's favored, big favorite, small favorite, her fights are kind of competitive because she is young, she is growing and learning in the sport. So in this fight, I am going to go with Macy Barber, right? But I'm not going to put her in my parlay. right? Macy Barber gives me a heart attack every time I watch her fight. She's like a split decision queen, right? Maybe she grows out of that. You know, she's 25. Maybe when she hit about 28, 29, right, she learns to finish, you know, a little better, something like that. They're fighting MMA for a long time to be so young, right? Split decision queen. She'll give you a heart attack. You throw in the parlay, leave it out of there at minus 205. Not even worth the risk, right? Like minus 112, maybe plus money, right? You throw it in there, right? Worth the sweat. Minus 205, not even really worth the sweat. Macy Barber should win, right? We not go parlay, right? We not go money liner, at least right now, right? We not, but we do got Barber for the win, right? Moving right along. Now, this is the main event on the prelim card, right? Not the main event of the night, the main event of the prelim card. Sean O'Malley is the main event of the night, right? Curtis Blades versus Jailton Almeida. Now, I really do think the UFC wants to push Jailton Almeida. Jailton Almeida, in his last fight, he kind of laid the egg. He won the fight, but it was extremely unimpressive, right? So I think the UFC is putting him in here with Curtis Blades to see exactly where he at. If he could beat Curtis Blades, right, then he does deserve to be maybe a title shot, maybe put at the top of the division with the top guys. If he could beat Curtis Blades, if he doesn't beat Curtis Blades, then that boring kind of style that he had, that boring kind of style that he had in their last fight, right? You know what I mean? Maybe that's, where they want to put him. Hold on, man. Move. Maybe that's where they move. Maybe that's where they want to put him in. Hold on. Maybe that's where they want to, put him in. Well, this is a good spot. This is a good spot for Curtis Blades and Almeida, depending on exactly how it turns out. Curtis Blades himself is trying to get himself back until that top contender in the heavyweight division. So the winner of this fight is probably going to put themselves right back into the UFC mix, the UFC top heavyweight mix. Jailton Almeida, right? This is an interesting fight too because both guys, right? Curtis Blades is one of those guys where he strikes so much you forget that he's a wrestler, all-American wrestler, right? You got Jailton Almeida, who is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu master. You get what I'm saying? So you got both guys adequate on the ground in different ways, but both guys being adequate on the ground. Jailton Almeida's path to success would be to take down Curtis Blades, right, and maybe submit him or grind him out. Curtis Blades' path to success on most people is to take them down. You know what I mean? TKO them, ground and pound, or maybe grind them out. But Curtis Blades has showed, good striking ability, especially, for MMA, right? Good boxing for MMA, above average to good level striking, especially for heavyweight, right? Curtis Blades. So I do give the striking edge, right? As far as, tactical, I do give that to Curtis Blades. When we're talking about power in this scenario, both these guys have power that could knock you out. Maybe you say Jailton Almeida has more power, right? But still, Curtis Blades has power that could knock you out, right? So on the feet, I am edging Curtis Blades. Now, the thing is, when it goes to the ground, I feel like whoever is in that top control is better. If I'm Curtis Blades, I most definitely don't want to be under Jailton Almeida, right, at a point in this fight. But people forget that Curtis Blades has, a wrestling in the ground game as well. I think where Curtis Blades has an advantage is that, on the ground, I believe that he is a little more comfortable. He will be a little more comfortable than Jailton Almeida would be on the feet with Curtis Blades. I'm thinking Jailton Almeida wants to take this fight down immediately because I think it's huge advantage, Curtis Blades, on the feet. But taking Curtis Blades down, keeping them down is not going to be easy in itself either because Curtis Blades is also, adequate, on the ground. Wrestling, jiu-jitsu, two different, forms, but both adequate on the ground, right? I'm going to go with Curtis Blades in this fight, right? I'm not overly confident, right? So I'm not going to, parlay it just yet. This fight is about even odds right now. Nobody is an underdog, minus 120 to minus 106. So understand that, again, this is a toss-up. You know what I mean? It's just what you like best. And I favor, the striking of Curtis Blades. And if they go to the ground, I think Jonathan Almeida is better on the ground, but I think Curtis Blades is more than adequate on the ground as to where standing up. Almeida has a puncher's chance, but Curtis Blades is crisp on the feet. If Jonathan Almeida can't get Curtis Blades down, then I could see Jonathan Almeida getting knocked out by Curtis Blades, right? You know what I mean? But I got Curtis Blades. I got Curtis Blades in that fight. Not gonna put it in my parlay, right? I do think that kind of close, right? So I got Blades in that thing. We ain't gonna put it in the lay. We ain't gonna put it in the lay just yet, but I do got Blades for the win over Dalton Almeida. This will be the first time that I'm picking against Dalton Almeida, right? But I'm thinking the UFC vet Blades gonna be able to see that through and get up out of there with that win. We finna move it to the main card, and that's the prelim, right? That's the last fight on the prelim. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fights on the prelim, right? We took 4 of them. You see the money lines; those are the ones that we put in our parlay, right? We got Morose, AMBF, Alan BF, Despane, Gamrot. Those are the 4 we got in our parlay so far, right? So we moving it right along to the main thing. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards on the main card. It's 5 fights on the main card, 8 fights on the prelim. This is a pretty big card. 8 fights on the prelim. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 5 fights on the main card. So the first fight on the main card is Peter Yan versus Song Yadong. Again, this is a close fight. These odds look just like, Jolton Almeida and Curtis Blades, minus 120, minus 106. Again, another toss-up fight. I'm going with Peter Yan in this fight. I think Peter Yan is the better boxer, right, in this fight. Song Yadong is probably going to want to wrestle Peter Yan, right, if he had the chance to win this. But Peter Yan is good on the ground as well. He's a boxer, right? But you forget also that he's also, very, very skilled on the ground. I'm thinking Peter Yan is able to keep this fight standing, right? And maybe eventually get Song Yadong out of there, right? So I'm taking Peter Yan over Song Yadong, and what I think is going to be an exciting fight, right? None the least, right? But I'm taking Peter Yan. I'm taking Peter Yan in that fight. Peter Yan, however you want to call him, right? Give me Peter in that fight. And right now, I'm not really sure if I'm going to put Yan in my parlay, right, or not. Hadn't made that decision just yet. So for right now, we going to leave him out of there, and we going to keep it moving, right? We got Gilbert Burns versus Jack Belladonna. We got Jack Maladona being, the younger, more explosive athlete. Gilbert Burns is getting up there in age, right? He look young, but that nigga about 37, right? He been fighting the UFC for a minute. Again, I'm not overly confident in this fight, right? Because I don't bet against Gilbert Burns often, right? Jack Maladona, I think he's Teddy. For right now, I'm gonna stay away from that thing too. For right now, I'm gonna stay away from that thing too. Gilbert Burns and Jack Maladona. I'm gonna go with Maladona, right? I'm not overly confident, betting against Gilbert Burns. Jack Maladona should win this fight, right? Where Gilbert Burns is at in his career, right? With as old as he is, as long as he's been fighting, right? I feel like they're setting them up for Maladona to get a good win, right? All Maladona has to do is go out here, right, and get it. It's not gonna be easy at all, right? Gilbert Burns, respected UFC vet, never an easy win. But I'm picking Jack Maladona to be able to pull it off. I think I'm not, you don't pick neither one of these guys, solely for their striking, right? These are good ground guys with striking ability. Maladona has the better striking ability of the two. And I think if he wants to keep it standing, then he has an edge over Gilbert Burns. I think on the ground, it gets a little more even, especially with Burns being, high-level BJJ. right? But I think Melodon should have, the advantage at this point in his career, even on the ground, right? You know what I mean? Over Burns. So I'm gonna take Melodonna. I'm gonna take Melodonna. Miller. I be messing his name up. Y'all know what I'm trying to say, man. Jack Melodonna. I'm taking Jack Melodonna in that fight, right? But I'm not gonna parlay it, just yet. We're not gonna parlay that thing, just yet. We'll come back to it. But I do get Jack Melodonna to win, right? Now, y'all, we got Kevin Holland versus MVP Michael Venom Page. Y'all know Michael Venom Page. Michael Venom Page has finally came to the UFC. We've been trying to get. Hold on, let me get my thinking cap because it's gonna get fun. I like this fight. I like this fight. All right. Y'all hit that thumbs up. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy, right? So I got Jack Melodonna to win that fight, right? So I got Jack Melodonna win that fight. Move right on, right? We got Michael Venom Page, right? We got MVP versus Kevin Holland. I'm gonna drop this in the chat, right? We got MVP versus Kevin Holland, right? And I'm gonna say that slow for my people who know. My boy Tay just realized what I said. Y'all see my boy Tay in the chat. My boy Tay just realized what I said when I said what I said. We got Kevin Holland versus MVP, y'all, on this show, no matter card. MVP has finally made his way to the UFC. And guess who they gave him, dog? They gave him a real fight. They gave him a good fight. They gave him somebody who Kevin Holland was good, Big Tex. Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Big Tex. Do your boy solid, Big Tex, man. Hit that thumbs up for your boy. Y'all tell a friend. Y'all tell a friend, man. We are talking this good MMA, getting y'all right. We got about 3 fights left, right? We on the MVP and Kevin Holland. I'm excited for this fight. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Because I know it's gonna be a lot to look at. And Kevin Holland is one of those dudes, right? Kevin Holland is one of those dudes. He think he's so good. If you a striker, he gonna beat you striking, right? If you want a wrestler, he gonna try to out-wrestle you, right? If you a wrestler, he gonna try to out-wrestle you, right? If you Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, he gonna try to out-Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu you, right? If you a karate guy like him, he gonna try to out-karate you, right? So whatever you is, Kevin Holland is one of those dudes. He gonna try to outdo you at what you do. So Kevin Holland could come out here. He could wrestle MVP, right? And I think if Kevin Holland chain wrestle MVP, he'll beat MVP easy. Honestly, that's just me personally, right? If he chain wrestle MVP, I think he'll beat him easy. It'll be a boring fight. He can chain wrestle him. He could beat him. But if Kevin Holland is who I think he is, and I know Kevin Holland, we know Kevin Holland. We know what Kevin Holland about at this point. That Texas boy. We know what that Texas boy about. That Texas boy will come out here and he gonna stand there and he gonna strike with MVP because he know that's what the people want. Because that's what the people want. So Kevin Holland is going to give us that fight. He gonna give us what we looking for. MVP first fight in the UFC. Why you think they put him in the ring with a guy like Kevin Holland? Because they gonna give us what we asking for. Kevin Holland gonna give us what we asking for. You know what I mean? And when I first looked at this fight, man, I was like, Kevin Holland MVP. I was like, okay, Kevin Holland, way better wrestler. But then I thought, man, Kevin Holland is gonna stand on his feet. Kevin Holland not gonna take this fight to the ground. And I think the fact that Kevin Holland is going to oblige MVP in a striking karate style counter matchup, I think MVP wins this fight. And I love Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland is one of my favorite UFC fighters too. I forget him sometimes when I mention, my top guys, right? But Kevin Holland is most definitely one of my favorite UFC fighters. But does MVP have enough left in his tank at this point in his career to beat Kevin Holland, right? I think he's probably more explosive, right? If he comes in his best self, right, I think he's more explosive. I think he's the harder puncher, pound for pound, right? Kevin Holland is a great MMA striker, right? But MVP is literally one of the best kickboxers in the world and has been for the last 10 years, 15, 12, 10 years, right? MVP. I'm thinking this fight is going to be standing. I'm thinking Kevin Holland is going to oblige him. I'm thinking Kevin Holland's gonna oblige him, man. Deshaun Thompson, what's good? I'm thinking Kevin Holland go oblige him, man. I think I'm torn, Deshaun. I'm torn because my first mind say Kevin Holland because I know Kevin Holland could come out here and he could wrestle and make it easy, but in the striking battle, I don't think Kevin Holland outstrikes MVP. And I think Kevin Holland is going to oblige MVP in the striking battle. I really think I think that Texas boy, I think he go oblige, but I ain't saying that he can't win one. And I ain't saying that he can't win one, right? But I think he go oblige MVP in their striking battle, bro. And this, do I believe, the question I got to ask myself, right? Because I think Kevin Holland go trade with him because that's who Kevin Holland is. Do I think Kevin Holland can outstrike MVP, Deshaun? And I think when I ask myself that, Deshaun, can Kevin Holland outstrike MVP? No. But the moment Kevin Holland started grabbing, if Kevin Holland started grabbing on MVP and putting him in them situations, he gonna get him. He probably gonna beat him. But I don't think he gonna do that. I think Kevin Holland gonna give us a stand-up fight, bro. So that's why my first mind, Kevin Holland. But when I first look at it on paper, Kevin Holland. But when I break down, when I see the fight in my mind, when I see the fight happening inside of the ring, I see a stand-up battle. And I don't believe Holland go outstrike MVP. God body was good. Again, bro, this is another toss-up fight. This is a toss-up fight, man. If y'all asking me, I'm not. If y'all asking me who I think wins this fight, I got MVP, man. I think MVP wins. I think MVP wins, right? Because I think it goes to decision, right? And I think MVP wins a close decision over Kevin Holland. It's going to be a good-ass striking battle. They're going to be striking. MVP has a different kind of power than Kevin Holland, right? Kevin Holland got cracks, right? But MVP has a different kind of power. You know what I mean? I don't see him stopping Kevin Holland, right? But I think damage, like I think he may do a little more damage. I think his punches may be a little more noticeable, like, you know, Kevin Holland, I think the choreography of the fight is going to be more so MVP because I think they're going to be standing up. But if Kevin Holland grab MVP, it's over. If Kevin Holland grab MVP, man, it's over. Because Kevin Holland too good on the ground. You get what I'm saying? Like, people talk about Khamzat and Kevin Holland fight. They make jokes about it. But do you understand why Khamzat did, why he fought Kevin Holland the way he fought Kevin Holland? Because for one, he know, okay, I'm gonna get him on the ground because I know I can't fuck with him striking, right? So that's the first reason Khamzat went out there, went straight to a takedown, right? So I'm gonna get him on the ground because I know I can't beat him striking. And then you know why he got straight to the submission when he got him on the ground? Because he know even on the ground, I can't play with Kevin Holland. I can't let Kevin Holland be in the guard. I can't let Kevin Holland start rolling. I can't let Kevin Holland do that because he's the type of dude who break out submissions. So Khamzat came in the way he came in because he knew who he was dealing with. You get what I'm saying? So if they lock up at any point, it's Kevin Holland by a mile. You get what I'm saying? Even Khamzat knew if I take him down, I got to get him out of there. I can't give him time to play around, roll around with me, get comfortable in this fight. You know what I mean? And he got Kevin Holland out of there. But I feel like the moment Kevin Holland decided to grab MVP, then it could be over. But I think Kevin Holland go oblige him in the striking battle. And I'm going to take MVP, man, over Kevin Holland. I'm not going to money line it. I'm not going to money line it just yet. I ain't go because I like Kevin Holland too. I like both these brothers. Like both these dudes. Both these dudes got exciting styles. I'm going to take MVP, man. I'm going to take MVP. I ain't go money line it, but I think MVP wins on them scorecards, a close decision. First fight in the UFC, I think it goes to the scorecards, right? And I think they'll give it to MVP because he just got there and they want to build more fights with MVP, right? MVP, man, over Kevin Holland, my Texas brother, in a close fight, right? Moving right along, man. We got Dustin Poirier, right, versus Benoit Saint Denis. This is a good fight. This is a good fight. Dustin Poirier is an underdog in this fight, right? Justin Poirier is the underdog in the fight. Hold on, let me see what my guy Deshaun said, because I like the MVP. We can talk about the MVP fight for a second, bro. I know this is a big one. He said you're right, but for me, it's Sugar Sean. Okay, versus Funk Master all over again. Holland just have that it factor. Like, even when he lost to Shamaya, part of me felt like Kevin would fight away. Yeah, facts, bro. And I think that's why Kemzai knew. Kemzai knew, bro. I'm not. He knew to just go. He knew to just go and get him up out of there. All right. He knew to just go and get him up out of there. Right, you know what I mean? Kevin Duke, man, that's gonna be a good fight, bro. I'm telling you, that's gonna be a good fight. That's gonna be a good fight, bro. That could go either way. I just have to ask myself, bro, do I see Kevin Holland being able to outstrike MVP? And I think it's tough. I think it's gonna be tough. And MVP got when he got power, he got a different kind of power. Kevin Holland got some cracks, right? But MVP got a different kind of power. You know what I mean? When he touched people, we didn't see him knock out people for a long time. You know what I mean? When he really decides to, to put it on somebody, he can put it on you. You know what I mean? But again, at any point that Kevin Holland decides to become a wrestler, to become a grappler, I think it's over with for MVP, right? But something in me just, I know Kevin Holland he's not gonna come out there and wrestle, dude, because Kevin Holland is the kind of guy who want to beat you at, what you do well. DP Rocker, what's good? DP? Appreciate you sliding through. He said two of the exact same fighters, right? MVC should have been went to the UFC, but he probably can't wrestle. Yeah, you know what I mean? He's not really a ground guy. He not. That's why I know if Kevin Holland do decide to grab him, it's over with. But I don't think Kevin go to grab him. I done seen enough Kevin Holland fights to know if you think you're a wrestler, Kevin go wrestle you. If you think you're a striker, Kevin go strike you. Kevin go put on the best show possible. You get what I'm saying? Tough motherfucker. That's why I wouldn't just be like, MVP go knock him out, right? But I do think he'll land the more damaging shots, right? And that'll get him, 3 rounds, right? 5 rounds, I maybe would take Kevin Holland, right? 3 rounds, though. You know what I mean? I think those shots will get MVP, they'll win. Close fight, not go parlay for y'all, right? Not go put it in this parlay, the main thing, right? Not go put it in this one, right? But y'all know when fights come, we have game day, fight night parlays going on, right? But I digress. It ain't my parlay, it's straight man lie. I just that was great. He did. That's why I'm making 2 deep parlays cover my ass. Shout out my guy Deshaun Thompson. What's good, DP Rock? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, DP, man. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy. Let me go on get to it. So where we at? Yeah, we on Dustin Poirier, right? And Benoit Saint Denis, right? So Dustin Poirier is an underdog in this fight. And I'm pretty sure Dustin Poirier is an underdog because he's coming off. I'm not sure if he had a fight in between that, but I know he got knocked out by Justin Gaethje either in his last fight or his fight before last. I think it's his last fight, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? So that's probably why he a dog, because people still see that knockout in his, people still see that knockout from Poirier. And Poirier a damn good fighter, and he beat Poirier once before, right? You know what I mean? So there's that. But I digress. He's fighting the Canadian Benoit Saint Denis, right? And right now, Benoit Saint Denis is on fire, right? He got a whole country behind him, right? On fire. You get what I'm saying? The fact that we got Dustin Poirier in a fight where he's the underdog, y'all got to understand. Dustin Poirier is one of those dudes, he can change a fight in a second. He's also one of those dudes, right? We've seen him get knocked out a couple times. You get what I'm saying? But Poirier can change a fight in a second. So if I'm Benoit Saint Denis, who I have seen sometimes be susceptible to getting cracked on, if Denis let if Denise let Dustin Poirier crack on him, if Denise let Dustin Poirier crack on him, right? Like I've seen him get cracked on in the past, right? I think Poirier put him to bed. You know what I mean? I favor Denise in this fight, right? I'm thinking striking. I think Poirier has the heavier hands. But I think in the clinch grapple situation, I favor Benoit Saint Denis. If I'm Benoit Saint Denis, and Dustin Poirier is an All-American wrestler too, right? But I think, Benoit Saint Denis, right? He's in his prime right now. He's rolling. Poirier been, boxing for so long, right? I think this kind of is his thing now, even though his base actually is wrestling, right? But I think at this point, he basically is a boxer, striker. You get what I'm saying? So I would favor Denis in, the clinch grapple game. If I'm Denis, I'm mixing in a bunch of takedowns, right? Because I don't want to chance myself with Dustin Poirier on the feet if I'm Denis, right? So I'm thinking in the stand-up game, it's tit for tat, right? And on the ground game, I favor Denis. If I'm Denis, I'm mixing my stand-up with my ground game to steal some of these, right? It's a 5-round fight. You get what I'm saying? Dustin Poirier ain't really one of those guys you go in there cold or hot, however you want to say it, right? You go in there hot, and I'm going to get him out of there. You can fuck around and get knocked out. He also ain't the guy where you just go in there and you're going to take down this shit easy. So you got to break him down systematically, which is how he loses most times, right? You got to touch on him, or he come in there trying to touch on you, and that's how you get caught. But I'm expecting the more schematic, Dustin Poirier, because he kind of been knocked off his high horse, right? Because for a while, Dustin Poirier was, riding out. He was coming off the Max win, right, and the Gaethje win, right? Because people forget him and Gaethje, that was a rematch, if I'm not mistaken, because he beat up Gaethje the first time, right? Poirier beat Gaethje, then Poirier went to fight Khabib. It was something like that. And then then Gaethje ended up getting shot, a little later, right? But Poirier has a win over Gaethje already. Then Gaethje comes underdog, boom, knock Dustin Poirier out, right? And now you got Gaethje fighting Max Holloway, who Dustin Poirier beat Max Holloway, right? But I digress. So Poirier is a live dog in this fight. I really do believe, bro, there is a scenario where I see Dustin Poirier knocking Chris St. Benoit out. You know what I mean? There is a scenario where I see him knocking Chris, I'll be ready to call him Chris Benoit, so bad. Long live, I forgot what Chris Benoit did. But yeah, Benoit Saint Denis. I'll be ready to call him Chris Benoit so bad. Benoit Saint Denis. You know what I mean? Saint Denis. I can very well see Poirier knocking, Denis out. There's a scenario in my mind where I see Poirier chinning Denis, and it's not too far away from what might actually happen, right? But I'm taking Denis in this fight, but I'm afraid of it. I want Denis to go out there and, wrestle him a little more than he strike him with him instead of, engaging with him in the stand-up battle. I think he should mix in takedowns, on Dustin Poirier if I'm Denis, right? I got Denis in that fight, right? But I'm terrified of that pick. Terrified of it. You know what I mean? Most definitely not putting it, in my parlay. I may not touch that fight all night. If I do touch that fight, it's gonna be Dustin Poirier knockout, on the flyer by itself. You get what I'm saying? But I'm taking Saint Denis over Dustin Poirier. Why I think it's gonna be a close fight. Not rushing to put it in, my parlay. Not rushing to bet on it. The money in there would be, Dustin Poirier KO, right? But Saint Denis should win the fight. Right, is what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? A good fight, right? Should win if he wrestled Dustin Poirier. You know what I mean? And that sounds crazy because Dustin Poirier is an extreme wrestler, is an extremely good wrestler in his own right? But at this point, how with the battle that he's been through in his long career, I think Saint Denis is just prime, and I think he gets Poirier not overly confident in it, right? But I think Poirier knocking him out is real live. Like, it's a live thing. You know what I mean? In that. Moving right along, man. Main event time. We got Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera. And this is a rematch. Right? This is actually a rematch. He's in my long shot parlay is versus 17K odds. Hell yeah, Deshaun. So now we on the main event, right? We on the main thing, right? We on the main thing, man. We got O'Malley versus Vera, right? And this is a rematch. Vera actually beat O'Malley the first time. For some who know, some who might not know, right? You know, because I know I got a whole boxing fan base, right? Some of y'all may just be gamblers. Y'all don't know a whole lot about these fighters and whatnot. Certain fights I take my time on because I know certain fights, you know, are highlighted. So I highlight the highlight fights, right? Like MVP, Kevin Holland. You know what I mean? Like Dustin Poirier, Saint Denis, right? Like Sean O'Malley, Marlon Vera, right? So I know some, and I know this is a rematch. Vera actually stopped Sean O'Malley the first time, knocked him out, right? You can put it in you put it in Google, you can put it in YouTube, right? You Google it, knocked him out, put his ass to bed. You would thought Jay Holiday was in there, right? But technicality, right? Sean O'Malley, he like snapped his ankle in the ring. You know what I mean? He threw a kick, he came back down on his plant foot, and the ankle just gave out. Sean O'Malley, you know, hit the ground. Marlon Vera with them long ass arms, right? Came right over the top. Didn't even jump on top of him, just threw the arms. Boom, kind of like Danny did against Josh Quinlan. Long ass arms, didn't even jump on top of him, just threw the arms down. Boom, hammer fist. Boom, boom, couple hammer fist, and the referee jumped in, right? And I think Sean O'Malley wasn't necessarily knocked. It's like he was, he most definitely was. Well, he knocked him out, right? But Sean O'Malley came back too kind of quick, right? But I think the referee mostly stopped it because he saw Sean O'Malley's ankle give out, right? So when Sean O'Malley's ankle broke, he hit the ground, right? He couldn't really defend himself. You know, Vera jumped on him, boom, boom. He did go out when he hit him on the ground. O'Malley did go out a little bit, and the ref jumped in. But I think more so the ref jumped in because he knew that Sean O'Malley couldn't stand up. You know what I mean? That was the end of the fight. Not gonna make Sean O'Malley fight with one fucking leg. You get what I'm saying? That's why you're the referee. That's why you're there. Right? So I think more so he stopped it because, yeah, he hammer fisted him on top of Sean O'Malley, ankle being jello at that point, right? So there is that. I think Sean, move. I think Sean O'Malley is going to want to move. I think Sean O'Malley is going to want to get some get back. You know what I mean in that? So that's just an interesting tad bit, you know, to know I want to start with that. He did beat Sean O'Malley before, right? Did Marlon Vera. I think if we're talking about this could be a stand-up battle, right? Marlon Vera is also one of those guys who strikes so much you forget that his Brazilian jiu-jitsu is out of this world, right? But he actually is a grappler, ground guy, but he prefers to strike. That's what he does. At some point, I do see him, you know, cage controlling, pressing, grabbing Sean O'Malley, right? At least trying to. I think it would behoove him, right? So I don't think this is going to be an easy fight for Sean O'Malley. This could be an easy fight for Sean O'Malley if he's able to keep Marlon Vera on the outside, you know, with his kicks, with his strikes, and not let him get up in the inside of him, right? Very well could be. In that last fight, Vera ate some strikes, you know, was eating some strikes from Sean O'Malley, right? He was also landing, you know, his own strikes against Sean O'Malley. He said, betting my kids' college tuition, O'Malley. Shout out my guy, Sean Thompson, right? He was also, you know, getting hit with some shit in O'Malley, right? In this fight, I think O'Malley is going to want some revenge. I like the odds, right? Sean O'Malley odds is like minus 200 right now. While that ain't great, I think it's a good parlay piece, right? You know what I mean? For Sean O'Malley, given the fact that, you know, this guy did knock him out, right? Because normally we get Sean O'Malley like, you know, minus at least 3, right? 3, 4, you know what I mean? 5s and shit like that. Right? You know what I mean? With Aljo, you know, it was nice as well, right? So it was nice to have a nice Sean O'Malley line on Never, right? These last two Sean O'Malley, this one not as good as the Aljo line, right? But you know, these last two Sean O'Malley lines been pretty good. Dog money in the last one with Aljo, right? This one, you know, favorite, double digit favorite, right? 2.5 favorite, close to 2.5 favorite, you know, something like that, right? But you know, not the 3 and not 4 in the ugly territory, right? Like in for comparison, like Gamrot is like 4. You get what I'm saying? So okay, odds on Sean O'Malley, right, for my guy Sean. But in this fight, I'm thinking Sean O'Malley should be able to pull it out, right? Do I see anybody getting stopped in this fight? Do I see Sean O'Malley knocking him out? I could see a scenario where Sean O'Malley knocks him out because I think Sean O'Malley wants to knock him out because he stopped Sean O'Malley, right? So I think Sean O'Malley wants to knock out because Vera, knocked him out. You know what I mean? Vera is a tough guy. I could also see a scenario right where it's just a dog fight, and I could see Sean O'Malley. You know what I mean? Giving some, taking some. Vera being the dog that he is, right? Being able to absorb it, right? And both of them, taking some punishment, going to the scorecards, right? In a tough fight. But with these two guys with the finishing ability, right? Especially with like you talking Sean O'Malley with his power, right? He has that one shot kind of power. And then you talk Marlon Vera, with his submission ability, right? On top of his striking ability, on top of, his ground and pound. I think somebody getting stopped in this fight for sure. I think somebody getting stopped. It's hard to see this fight go 5 rounds between these guys and nobody gets stopped. Right? I think somebody getting stopped for sure. I think Sean O'Malley wins this fight. And I think Sean O'Malley wins this fight by knockout. If Marlon Vera wins this fight, he wins this fight by knockout as well. But I got Sean O'Malley in this fight. I think it's going to be a stand-up battle. And if Marlon Vera does start to shoot on O'Malley, it's because O'Malley is getting the better of him in the striking, right? Which would mean that, my Sean O'Malley pick would be, going great at that point, right? And even then, I don't see him, I don't want Sean O'Malley on the ground with Vera at all, right? Because Vera got those long limbs. He already knocked him out with ground and pound on the ground before, right? That true enough, O'Malley had one leg, right? But still, the imagery for me, right, just don't work. So I don't want him on the ground. I don't want him on the ground with Vera at all. And I don't, I think it's going to be a stand-up battle because I think Vera is going to oblige him in the stand-up, right? I think Vera is going to oblige O'Malley in the stand-up. And I think eventually O'Malley going to catch Vera. And I don't think it's going to be like a one-shot type deal. I think it's going to be like a TKO, you know what I mean, stoppage kind of deal. Sean O'Malley, maybe a damage, right? Sean O'Malley could be putting it on him, right? Kind of stoppage. I think it'll be later because Vera is a dog, like maybe the 4th or 5th round, right? I think this fight is elongated because I think it's going to be a striking battle and both guys are adequate, and I think they're going to duel it out. But I do think eventually it's either going to be like a damage stoppage for Sean O'Malley, right? Or a TKO type stoppage for Sean O'Malley because Marlon Vera is a tough guy, but I think Sean O'Malley wants that get back, and I think Sean O'Malley gets that get back. You know what I mean? Over Marlon Vera. So I got Sean O'Malley for the win over Marlon Vera, right? And we go throw Sean O'Malley in the parlay as well, right? So it's parlay time. I'm finna go get to them. Drop my winners in here, right? About to drop my winners in here, right? And then we gonna set the parlay up, right? Then I'm gonna let y'all go and slide. I'm gonna get that rundown going. Right. So let's drop these winners in here. We're finna run back down my winners real quick. All right, we got Morose for the win, right? We got Emily BL for the win. Alma BF. Alma BF. Maybe that's it, right? Alma BF for the win. We got Bisping for the win. Heavyweight. Young heavyweight prospect, right? Bisping for the win. We got Michael Piera for the win, right? Another young prospect. I like how UFC, got the prospects taking on. I like how the UFC got the prospects taking on the UFC vets more. I'm starting to notice that a little more. I don't think it's a coincidence, right? But I like it, and I like it. We got Kyler Phillips over Monzon, right? I seen Monzon quit. That's a bad taste in my mouth. Don't like it. Quit against Sean O'Malley. We got Gamrot over RDA, right? Love RDA, but I think he's past his prime, right? Gamrot should be able to get that win. So we got Gamrot over RDA. Macy Barber over Caitlin Chikugian, who just got married. Can't think of her new surname right now, right? But we had Macy Barber over the lady formerly known as Chikugian, right? We got Curtis Blades over Almeida. That's why I think it's gonna be a great fight. Right. And I'm putting all these in here right now, make y'all know. We got Peter Young versus over. I said versus over. We got Peter Young over Sonya Dawn. Right. We got Madalena. We got Madalena over Gilbert Burns. MVP over Kevin Holland. Not confident in it at all. Right. This gonna be a good fight, but I think that fight could go either way. MVP the slight dog right now at plus 108. Right. We got Saint Denis. Not confident in it at all. Right. Over Dustin Poirier. I might go Dustin Poirier underdog knockout. You know what I'm saying? I might say Dustin Poirier for a KO on the side. I might we gonna do some parlays in a second, y'all. We go quick jumps, in and out on the rundown. Denise for the win. And I'm putting all these, in my betting slip right now. Right? And in the main event, we got Sean O'Malley over Vera. Right? All right, so those my winners, man. That's everybody I got for the win right there. The 13 should be 13, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right, those are my 13 winners. Let's put that up there. Right? Those are my 13 winners right there. Now we about to do the parlay, right? About to do the parlay, and then we're gonna do the rundown, and then I'm gonna let y'all go and skedaddle, man. So I know y'all tired looking at me. All right. All right, so the parlay time, man. Parlay time. Parlay time, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. And these fights are for Saturday. I did a boxing breakdown, right? That's on the Friday. The boxing fights on the Friday. The UFC fights I'm doing now on Saturday. So these fights are for Saturday. So tell a friend. Monday is always fight predictions. You know what I mean? Real good. All right. Parlay time, fellas. So parlay time. These my most confident, right? These my most confident. So we gonna start from the top. We gonna start from the prelim. We gonna work our way. Hold on, wait. Let me get my charger. Let me go get my phone charger. My shit on fire. Y'all do your boy solid. Y'all hit that thumbs up for you. All right. All right. All right. Now it's parlay time. Parlay at departments. All right, let's get it. So let's go to the prelim. We going to the prelim first. We gonna take Miranda Moroz, right? She already beat John Wood once, right? We taking Moroz. She beat her once already, right? We got Moroz money line. Y'all know I only do money line. I'm gonna do money line parlay, right? Short and sweet. I may end up putting, you know what I mean? A method in there too. I may end up putting a method in there too, right? But we're gonna go money line, right? Nice and easy. So we going Morose, right? We going MBF, right? I'm a BF. We going Morose. I'm a BF. It's BA, not BE. I'm a BF, right? We going this thing as well. Heavyweight prospect. We going this pain as well, right? Right? These my locks, right? Piera Odeshuk, we ain't gonna mess with it. Phillips and Muzon, I ain't gonna mess with it, right? We gonna throw Gamrot over RDA in there, right? We gonna throw Gamrot. Pop, what's good, Pop? We gonna throw Gamrot over RDA in there. These it's my prediction for Saturday, man. It's parlay time right now. Then I'm gonna do the rundown after this, man. Then I'm gonna let everybody skedaddle, man. I appreciate y'all folks sliding through this thing, right? So we got Gamrot in there, Barber and Chaconia. We ain't gonna mess with it, right? Mason Barber is the queen of the split decision. I don't even want to be putting my hair out, you know what I'm saying, messing with Barber on it, right? So we're gonna leave Barber out. Curtis Blades and Almeida. That fight so close. We gonna leave that thing out as well. What's good, Jay Gibb? Shout out my guy, Jay Gibb. Is that feeling good today? Feeling everything? Go ahead. Yeah, facts. Yeah, this ain't for today. This for Saturday. You know, we gonna do the best for the day a little later on, right? You know, later on, that day we'll be back, type deal. But yep, this for Saturday. This for Saturday. I ain't even started the best for the. Actually, I already did my homework on some best for the day. But I digress, right? We ain't gonna put Barber in there, right? We don't want to have that hard test. Shout out to my guy Jay Gibb, TWT in the building. Appreciate you sliding through this thing, pimping. Appreciate you sliding through. Closing this thing on now, man. I greatly appreciate everybody that fell through too. Y'all was in this. Y'all was kind of, y'all was kind of deep in this junk. You know what I mean? Marcus Bell, what's good, pimp? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Marcus. Hit that thumbs up for your boy. Hit that thumbs up for your boy, man. I now already picked all my winners. You know what I mean, for the whole card. Made all my predictions. What I'm doing right now is I'm showing, I'm showing where the money going. Right, it's parlay time. Right, this basically is my locks. What my parlays are my lock fights. Right, these are the fights that I think go win. No sweat. I feel like you want to bet on these fights. These are the fights that you could bet on. Right, and we just put them in the parlay over here on this side because y'all know how we do it. Right, but moving right along. Right? We ain't gonna mess with Blades and Almeida, right? That's a close fight. I picked Blades to win, but that could go either way. I don't want to put it in my parlay. I don't want to have to worry about it, sweat on it, right? Moving right along. Let's see. So this is where it's gonna get interesting, right? Moving to the main card. The main card is where it's gonna get interesting. Piecing those up, which ones we gonna take off there. This is what's gonna be the thing, right? Last week, the main event blew out parlay, right? So there's that. Right, so we the main card is where it really get tricky. You got to really pick the right ones because these decisions is really what is going to make or break these parlays right on the main card. Right, a decision here, a decision there. Right, Peter Young and Saddam Maladona and Gilbert Burns. Now I think Jack Maladona, with where he is in his career, the age he is, and the age that Gilbert Burns is, right. I think he's primed to beat Gilbert Burns right now. I don't bet against Gilbert Burns off. Now, I even took Gilbert Burns to beat Kemzat, right? I took Gilbert Burns to beat Kemzat, and I think Gilbert Burns gave Kemzat a damn good run for his money. Arguably, I think he beat Kemzat. I personally think he beat Kemzat, right? Some people feel he did. Some people, feel Kemzat did enough to get the win. But if you watch the fight, right, and these are just stats, right? He was up, more striking. He lost in control time, right? And he landed more strikes. He did more damage, right? He made it real hard for Kemzat to take him down. You know what I mean? I kind of think he beat him. You know what I mean? But that's just me. But I don't think he's that guy anymore. You get what I'm saying? So I think that that young prospect Jack Maladona, I think he's prime right now, and I think that he should be able to get the job done on the older Gilbert Burns, right? So we go throw Jack Maladona in there, right? We throwing Jack Maladona in there. Magdalena in there, right? We throwing Jack Magdalena in there. I think he's primed, you know what I'm saying, to beat Gilbert Burns. If Gilbert Burns is able to beat Jack, bro, at 30, at 37, 38 years old, but you got to give Gilbert Burns a title shot. I don't give a fuck, right? Because of the prospect, the power, the role that Jack Maladona is on right now. If Burns is able to beat him after having that questionable comes out loss on this record, bro, I say you give him a title shot. Fuck it. You know what I mean? But we got Jack in there, right? Jack should be able to get the job done. Right, should be able to get the job done. The next fight I'm looking at, right, is Peter Young versus Song Yadong. I think Peter Young should win it. I think Song Yadong's best route to victory will be to take Peter Young down, right, which is going to be hard to do in itself. And I think on the feet, Peter Young is a lot better, right? So I'm taking Peter Young. We taking Peter Young money line as well, right, in our parlay. You know what I mean? We up to 6 fights. We going main event, man. We gonna take Sean O'Malley, right? And we gonna end it just like that. We going main event, and we gonna take Sean O'Malley, man. Right? We taking O'Malley to bring it home. Last week we lost it on the main event. Let's try to get some main event revenge this week, right? We got Sean O'Malley. We got Sean O'Malley in that main event. I think he seeks his revenge. I think, yeah, I trust Peter too. I trust Peter too, bro. I trust Peter too, Teddy. Yep. Good on the feet. He's so good on the feet, you forget that he's good on the ground, right? Yep, Peter in there. Jack will be, Jack and O'Malley, right, will be the biggest question mark, you know what I mean? I think on that jump, right? If we're just talking about, level of where we would have to go. Jack and Jack, Magdalena and O'Malley, right? O'Malley is in a dangerous fight. Maladona is in a dangerous fight. The other fights, I think, they should be able to Morose already beat her opponent before, right? Emily BL, kind of prospect setup fight. This thing, right, kind of a prospect setup fight. Let's put the parlay on the screen. Gamrot, right? It is kind of a prospect setup, a high level prospect setup fight, right? Fighting RDA, right? Maladona, sure enough, it is a prospect setup fight, but he's gonna have to go take it from Gilbert Burns also, right? So these like showcase fights that I'm picking, right? That's why I'm saying I've really been paying attention to how they've been matching up these prospects with these UFC veterans. And the veterans ain't been doing half bad. Like some of these guys been getting upset. Like Roland Struck just upset somebody last week. You get what I'm saying? Joe Pfeiffer went down. You get what I mean? So, I like Dana White. Dana White on fire right now. You know what I mean? But that's the parlay, man, right there. 7, right? I think outside of, and some people have confidence in O'Malley. I just know that Vera ain't nothing to be played with, right? So I say Magdalena and O'Malley, right? Maybe ones that you have, a little worry in. Peter Young, right? If you want to really, maybe Peter Young, but I think Peter Young gonna be just fine because I don't think young Saddam go be able to take him down, and I know Saddam can't fuck with him on the feet, not even close on the feet. Saddam is a guy who believes that he can strike. He can strike, right? But compared to Peter Young, not even close. You get what I'm saying? Peter Young is that good, and I don't think Saddam's gonna be able to get Peter Young on the ground because that's a whole nother task in itself. You get what I'm saying? Type deal. So I'm pretty confident in Morose, Amberlev, Despain, Gamrot, Young. And I think Magdalena gonna be in the fight. And I think O'Malley gonna be in the fight, but I think they both win. That's my most confident picks on the card. You know what I mean? So we go get to this rundown, right, for video purposes. And then if y'all got any questions, I'm gonna answer questions and shit like that. But y'all know I do rundown just for timestamp purposes. You know what I mean? For the people who don't want to sit here and watch the whole show I just did. You go in the comment, you click the you click the first comment, it's gonna be pinned, and it take you straight to the rundown, which is what I'm getting ready to do, to let you know all my winners and the parlay. And I'm gonna cram all that into about 2 minutes for the people who just go, get in and get out, right? So we're gonna do the rundown at 118, right? We'll do the rundown at 118. Right? All right, so let me put my winners back up there. We're gonna run that thing down at 118. Right? So let's go and get to it, man. I'm gonna hit y'all with this rundown. I'm about to tell y'all my winners. I'm about to tell y'all my lock parlay, right? And then we go skedaddle on up out here. If y'all just tuning in for the rundown, right? Y'all, we talk this good boxing and sports every single day, not just today. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. Y'all subscribe to the channel as well, right? But enough of my talking. Y'all can see my winners on the screen, right? We got Morose, Amberlev, Dispain, Pereira, Phillips, Gamrot, Barber, Blades, Yan, Magdalena, MVP, St. Denis, O'Malley. The MVP Kevin Holland fight really could go either way. It's a toss-up. I'm thinking Kevin Holland go oblige MVP in the stand-up. I think MVP go out corner. You know what I mean? St. Denis could get knocked out by fucking Justin Poirier, right? You know what I mean? Sean O'Malley trying to seek revenge. He in a tough fight. I think Gamrot probably about to retire. RDA, right? Macy Barber, the split decision queen, right? She should win, but you just never know with the split decision queen, right? Curtis Blades is fighting Aldemeda. Oh my fucking God, that shit gonna be a banger right there. I think Alton gonna have a little trouble taking Curtis Blades down, and I think Curtis Blades a little better on the feet. Pereira is in the close fight, right? Think he more explosive athlete. Think he better overall fighter. Should be able to squeak that one out. I got that young heavyweight Dispain by Murder, Amberlev to Cruz. Morose is fighting a girl that she beat before, so pretty confident in her. Callie Phillips is fighting Pedro Monzon. I think that's low key a good fight. I think Callie Phillips go out point. You know what I mean? All right, moving right along, man. We got the parlay, right? This is what we putting our bread on, right? We got Morose in the parlay, right? Had confidence. Amberlev had confidence. Dispain had confidence. Gamrot had confidence. Magdalena is going to be in the fight with Gilbert Burns. I think he should be able to beat, the older Gilbert Burns, right? I do think Gilbert Burns is a good fighter. Not quite what he used to be. Magdalena rolling right now. If Magdalena beats this guy, Gilbert Burns, then I think he puts himself into that top contender category. We got Magdalena. I got Peter Yan over Son Yadong. I think Son Yadong's only chance, right, is to wrestle Peter Yan, because I don't think he can strike with him at all, right? And I don't think he's the kind of guy who's going to be able to chain wrestle Peter Yan, right? He's not no Aljamain Sterling when it comes to, the ground game, right? So Peter Yan, I think he probably going to knock Son Yadong out. True enough, you know what I mean? Good fighter, Son Yadong, probably going to get knocked out. Like the odds on Peter Yan and the knockout. Sean O'Malley in the main event, seeking revenge on Marlon Vera. Again, if you don't know, Marlon Vera did beat Sean O'Malley, knocked him out, but Sean O'Malley broke his ankle. Sean O'Malley threw a kick or something like that. He came back down on his ankle. His ankle broke on him. He fell. Marlon Vera ran, knocked him out with hammer fist. Ref jumped in, right? You know what I mean? Type deal. So he's seeking revenge. I got O'Malley. You know what I mean? It will be the last fight in the parlay to close it out, main event, right? You can take those 7 fights, you can money line them, no method, no decision, nothing like that. Put 10 on it, win your 100, right? That's for my people, you know what I mean, for my bettors and whatnot, right? So I'm about to throw them winners back on the screen, right? That's the rundown. So y'all got any questions for your boy before I roll up out there? Shout out my guy. I don't want to butcher your name, bro. Legiro Gamer, bro. I don't know if it's your first time, but could you do your boy solid? Not maybe the last time, bro. Could you subscribe to the channel, bro? We talk this good combat sports, boxing, MMA. If you could bet on it, right? We talk it. Football, basketball, all the good stuff, bro. We talk that every single day, not just today. I got my UFC winners in the chat. I got my UFC winners in the chat. I'm finna drop them junks. Finna put them just back on the screen for a second. Where we at 122. So shit, if y'all ain't got know, he's an AOT. I'm saying it. It's Vera to be played with. He's sweet. Light his ass up. His ass is grass. Oh man, all day. It might be early. Think it might be early. I think if he getting I think if he get in trouble early, right? I think O'Malley might try to. I think if he get in trouble early, Vera might try to resort to the grappling. You know what I mean? So I sleep don't want O'Malley unless he just gonna put him out. Unless he just gonna put him out, right? You know what I mean? But O'Malley should get the dub, man. I don't know, man. Look, he was touching Vera a little bit when they was fighting, but no, Vera was getting in on him too, man. So Vera ain't nothing to be played with, man. That man skilled. I'm telling you, that boy skilled, man. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's a good card. It's a good card. This might be the best card since the vote card. And we won't know if it's gonna turn out to be better than the vote card, right? But this might be the best card since the vote card. You know what I mean? UFC has some good cards. You know what I mean? It's only been really like, see, last week I thought the card was gonna be a dud. It really wasn't a dud. You know what I mean? If we're just talking about like duds, it might have only been not even a dud, really, but it's probably been one card, right? That's been like mellowed out. But bro, for the most part, UFC been delivering this year. You know what I mean? They've been delivering this year. Sean O'Malley, are you a Sean O'Malley guy? Yeah, okay. He's Sean O'Malley stand. You probably don't understand what I'm saying, but you know we talking about Sean O'Malley and Sean O'Malley fight card. This ain't no Sean O'Malley got real fans, right? But I've been on here for an hour 24. I'm gonna drop the timestamp right for the rundown in the comment. It said minute 18. I don't think nobody got no questions or nothing like that. So I'm finna go probably make my bets. Or like, no problem. I'm probably no different finna go, make my bets and whatnot. So I appreciate y'all folks sliding through. Those are the winners on the screen. The rundown is at 118, right? I'm gonna pin the comment. Check the comments. Y'all can check the comments for my winners and the whole pick rundown and whatnot. Greatly appreciate y'all folks sliding through this thing, man. Skin Hardaway 17. These ain't the past, these ain't the future. It's the present. That's how we rock it. And I'm not